Hey everyone, welcome back into Preferred Frenchies. Just taking it easy here with Casey's litter, having a good time. We got 2 boys and 1 girl left. I just wanted to do a little bit of a DNA breakdown here for you. We just got the results back from these little guys and girls, and I just kind of wanted to take some time and share it with you and kind of see, kind of break it down, I guess. So stay tuned here. We'll go through each one, talk about each one. Okay, so most times when you're doing your testing, you can either do swabs, like cheek swabs, when the puppies are already weaned, just to make sure they don't get any DNA on that swab from mom, which would be, you would probably see a little bit more of mom's DNA and not get an accurate reading. Or you can do blood cards, where you just take a quick sample of blood, send it in, and it'll give you a very, very accurate DNA result when it comes to coloration or genetic mutations or whatever you're testing for. So we test with animal genetics that are really good. It normally takes, depending on if you do priority or not, but normally it takes between 5 and 10 days. So it's relatively quick. And for this litter, we did cheek swabs, so we waited until they were about 6 weeks old, and then we sent it in and we just got the results earlier. So normally what you'll see with animal genetics, and I'll just reference it here from my phone, but most times what you'll see, up at the top you'll see your dog's panel, like you'll see the information with the puppy, with their age and their name, and just an overall outlook of what they're testing for. And then you'll see a panel that has like color results. I have it up here. You'll see testing for all sorts of different letters. When I first got into it, I had no clue what I was looking at. I was like, okay, so what's this supposed to mean? And really had no clue. And it's not readily available. It's hard to find the info. It's hard to do your own research without actually talking to someone that's educated on it, because some genes are dominant, some are recessive, some don't show depending on other colorations showing up, and I'm still learning 100%. But I do feel like I have a little bit of a better feel than I did for sure a few years ago, or even longer. So it's been a work in progress to, get a better feel for it and understand if you're looking for some answers on testing you've done. So most times you'll see at the top, you'll most times see AT, which is representing the tan points. So you'll see a little bit more here for Callie. She has more tan. She has 2 copies of tan points. Her results were AT, and they were lowercase. So both are active, and she would have 2 copies of tan points. And you'll see that on the cheeks, you'll see that on the legs. Now if your dog has like just overall a tan coloration or fawn, that's not representing that, it's just representing the tan points, which would be the eyebrows and on the legs, and sometimes on the inside of the ears and on the cheekbone. So that would be the first one you're gonna see. And then you'll see an albino trait, which is not something we've really gotten into, but it does refer kind of to the pink world, and we don't really get into that too much, but it kind of works the same way. Most times if you have a capital letter or a lowercase letter, the capital letter means the dog is negative for it. A lowercase letter means the dog has that gene. So you'll see here, just as a kind of example here. So Callie, she would actually, both of these girls, so Chanel and Callie, have very, very similar DNA. So they're both blue. They're a darker kind of bluish look, and they both carry 1 copy of Coco, which is responsible for lilac. So Coco has, they would be little n, which means negative. Sometimes it's little or big CO. This time it's little n and then slash and lowercase co, which would mean 1 copy is not active. You don't see that. They don't have the trait, and the CO represents the half that would mean they carry it. So they carry a copy of Coco, which means they can pass it on to offspring, and if they're mated with a dog that has a copy or 2 copies of cocoa, it can be passed down to their parent or to their offspring, and they might even show it. So they could produce, let's say, lilac puppies because they have 2 copies of blue, little b, and they have 1 copy of cocoa. So if they were mated with a dog that has 2 copies of B and 1 copy of cocoa, they'd have like a 25% chance of producing a lilac puppy. For these guys, Testable B has kind of hit the scene a little bit in the Frenchie world, and for these guys and girls, they all carry 1 copy of Testable B, not 2 copies, but you would have the possibility of producing a Isabella new shade with that combination. So you have Testable B, which would be 1 copy, big B, little b, and then you also have 1 copy of cocoa and 2 copies of blue. So if you have 2 copies of all 3 of those, so 2 copies of D, which would be responsible for your blue, and 2 copies of cocoa and 2 copies of Testable B, you would have a Isabella new shade. So pretty cool to see. Testable B kind of changes a lot. It's something that we do look at a lot when we're looking at pairings, just in general. It's something we do like to kind of take in consideration just because of the colorations it can produce if you make it the right way. So, and then your long-haired, short-haired gene, most times you'll see either LH1 or LH4. These guys are LH1. There's not much of a difference. There is some controversy over it. For me, I mean, I haven't really seen much of a difference at all. But I mean, someone might tell me different too, and I might, change my opinion on it. But basically, you'll see little L, little H, and then 1 or 4 above it. And that pretty much represents like 1 copy of the long-haired gene. And if you have 2 copies of it, it'll show LH1-LH1, and that would be all lowercase. For like Callie here, she has 1 copy, so she would show as, and I just want to make sure, because sometimes it does vary a little bit. So she would have capital L, which would be negative, and then LH1, which is lowercase. So and that would be for Callie. And then for her, she has LH1-LH1, all lowercase, because she's a full fluffy carrier, or a full fluffy dog, like a visual Frenchie. So a visual fluffy Frenchie. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a breakdown here, give you a kind of a better understanding of what to look for when you're looking for possibly doing some DNA testing, possibly doing a little bit more research and digging into your, breeding program and finding the right dog, the right puppy for you. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you out. So I'll look forward to hearing from you if you do. But thanks for tuning in today, guys. It's Jay Miller here at Preferred Frenchies. My number is 330-621-3917. And thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time.